Your campaign released a web video last week that I want to ask you about. It likened Donald Trump to Nazis in some way. Let's roll a little bit of that.
You might not care if Donald Trump says Muslims must register with their government because you're not one. And you might not care if Donald Trump says it's okay to rough up black protesters because you're not one. But think about this. If he keeps going and he actually becomes president,
so
he might just get
Governor
around to you.
Kasich, it's based on the famous Niemöller poem about the Nazis saying first they came for the labor unions, I was not one, I did not speak up, et cetera, et cetera. The Nazis killed 12 million people. It seems a little extreme and perhaps even a lot desperate to compare Donald Trump to the Nazis.
Well, Jake, that's not what's being done here. And the gentleman that you hear speaking is a former POW who feels very strongly about the United States being united. This is a message about uniting people. When you attack Hispanics, when you characterize all Muslims in a very negative way, when you insult women, we don't think that that's good. We think at this point in time, more than any other time, we need to have America united, and we need to have an American president who's going to unite us and not divide us. And it's no more than that, and any read into it more than that is certainly not what was intended or what was meant.
On that line of criticism against the frontrunner Donald Trump, the Washington Post this morning in an editorial is calling for Republican leaders, Speaker Ryan, Leader McConnell, you, to state publicly that you would never endorse or vote for Trump. They feel like he is that negative an influence in American politics. Are you willing to do that?
Jake, I signed a pledge that I would support the Republic. I think that's what we did at the first debate when we raised our hands. But look, I have to tell you, I've been all over New Hampshire. I've had 37 town hall meetings and a zillion other meetings there. And I believe that Donald Trump will not be the nominee. I think things will settle down, and I believe at the end of the day, and what I've heard in New Hampshire is his experience is what counts. Somebody who's been a reformer, but somebody who has experience. And I think we look for somebody at the end who knows how to land the plane. So I don't think we'll ever get to that point. And it's interesting the Post is saying that. I mean, I don't have any comment other than the fact that I don't think we'll ever get to that point.